Okay, welcome coaches and wellness advocates. Today's guest speaker is Dainna Pearlman, and I brought her into the group today to talk about her approach as a functional health coach. She, as you can tell from the name of her business, Rockstar Health Coaching, she's a very successful functional health coach who does use essential oils. And so we're going to talk today about a lot of different things, but how to be an effective coach, how to integrate oils into health coaching, her favorite uses, any stories from her own family or her clients. And for those of you who are catching this outside of my group, just to give you a tiny bit of background, my group is called Functional Essential Oil Education. And it's a group intended for health coaches who would like to learn how to use essential oils as part of their business, and really that can be in terms of getting their clients some rapid relief, because as we know, health coaching can ask people to make a lot of hard changes and really take a hard look at their lifestyle. So to give them an easy win up front is very effective and inspiring. And it's also a group for people who just need to go beyond the basics and learn more of the science, the studies, the why and the how about essential oils. We also dig into the areas where the experts do not agree, and we vet that out and discuss that in a safe space. So that's what that group is about. It's, again, on Facebook called Functional Essential Oil Education, if you want to come check that out. So Dainna, thank you so much for being here today. It's such an honor to have some of your time. I know you're very busy on multiple fronts with your for-profit and your not-for-profit enterprises. So thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So maybe you can just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got into health coaching, especially the functional aspect of health coaching.
Oh, how did I get started? It's funny. It should be a very easy answer and should come to mind very quickly, but I find the further back I go, the more I realize I've always been a health coach. I feel like I was the health coach in my family. I'm the youngest. And, right, I don't know, everybody comes to us with problems and then we usually give them some guidance and they move on. So I feel like I've always been doing that with my friends, with my family. But when did I formalize it as a business? Probably about 10 years ago when I had some health challenges of my own. I had to have my gallbladder removed. And that was just like, no, I don't want to lose any more body parts. And I want to figure out why my body is doing this. So that set me down the path of learning everything that I could. And that was a focus area for me for a while, because you don't have to lose your gallbladder. There's a lot that you can do to save that. And then the more I learned, the more I fell in love with just learning everything about the body, and learning about nutrition and science and biochemistry and oils and food and lifestyle and everything. So for me, it was a natural, I was going to say, slide into learning about the oils, because I found the more people that I was in contact with who got really great results were using oils.
Interesting.
Yeah, it really was, Trisha, because I felt like, okay, I know this, I know that, I'm good with this, I have my certification, I have some of these other things, and that was wonderful, and people were getting results, and I was having great satisfaction. And then when I started using the oils, it added another layer of care and treatment, and it opened up to a whole segment of the population that maybe were resistant to using supplements, right? Who had some dietary things, and the oils are they're just so great. I mean, you can put them in your shoes, they're just so multifaceted. You can diffuse them, I can't say enough good things about them. So I'm in love with oils, and and like I said, I can really look back and say, I can clearly delineate between when my clients were getting good results and, having wonderful successes. And then it did just take it up a notch when they started using them. So much so now that I actually set every new client up with some foundational oils as like a
Oh,
little
wow.
gift. Yeah, because right, people love when you put things in their hands, and we're all remote. And I
Right.
have coaches who work for my company, but our admin sends oils to them, and with the intake. So I'm not sleeping well, use Serenity, and stuff
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
That is awesome. So do
Yeah,
you customize it depending on their intake form? You
I
do.
do.
Oh,
I do. And everybody should steal that idea. I mean,
wow.
completely steal that, because I will tell you, I stole that from Trisha. She doesn't know it, but I stole that because she and I were on a wonderful retreat a couple of years ago together, when I think we probably first met.
Mhm.
And some of the retreat participants were having difficulty sleeping. And Trisha had her Serenity oil and was nice enough to share. And that really was just like, oh my goodness, this is something I need to explore. And I really did. So I kind of blame you too, and credit
I'll take it. I'll take it.
you.
I found that as well, though, when I was trying to start helping people learn about using food to address their health challenges and think about managing their stress in a different way and all of the things, all of the health coaching things. It was hard. It's very hard work to change your food and your movement and your lifestyle and your sleep and all the things. It's a lot to do at once. You got to baby step it. So I felt like introducing the oils gave them a way to have some success pretty quickly. Let's get you some sleep while we figure out why you're not sleeping. We're always going to still address the root cause, but let's just get you some relief, because if you're exhausted, you're not going to have the energy to figure all this out anyway. Or if you're having, digestive complaints, let's like calm that down. Or allergies, people are getting, the itchy eyes and the runny nose, and they're just so miserable. We can get them some relief, clear that up so that they can work on some other stuff. And so I have just also found it to be a real game changer in the way that people can get some relief, get some success, and it really opens their minds to, oh, maybe there's something to this. So I'll listen to what this lady has to say about my food and and all
Oh,
the
that's very smart. That really is. No, and I will tell you too, there's an aspect of it that I find is very primal, right? And it really harkens back to, and I think it connects to people, the experience of gentleness, right? Like even like something like bone broth, right? And bone broth is great, but for some people it's not, because if you have a histamine thing, and right, and we
right.
go into all of that very deeper kind of thinking. And as gentle as our food can be, oil is even gentler, right? Because with children, and I think I reached out to you when my daughter had a bad reaction to, yes, I did,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, and you were so kind and gentle and supportive with saying, okay, use some of these oils. And they're a wonderful way, like you said, just to kind of get people to warm up to the idea of shifting things. And it builds some credibility, but it's effective. I mean, that's
Right.
why it builds the credibility. But it's just, they can be powerful. So I don't want anybody to misunderstand when I say gentle, but they're a nice, gentle way in. Um,
Mhm.
because people can carry around, breathe oil, and if they have a sore throat or something, you can put it on your throat, or you can diffuse it, or, it's a nice way to surround people with something that we know is effective, and good high quality oils, right?
Mhm.
It matters, it really does matter, but then before they know it, they're feeling better, and then they're on board with, oh, okay, now I can do this, because most people, or not most maybe, but a lot of people really are struggling and they need help.
Yeah. And of course, if your clients are getting successes and seeing results, they're going to stick with you longer. They're going to refer more people to you, and so it's just creates such a win-win for everybody.
Agreed.
So as far as your clients, do they have favorites? Do you have certain oils that everybody just loves, or certain ones you send out the most? Anything like that?
I do. Thank you for asking. Yes, I do. Well, I will say, I think the Serenity is just so wonderful. There's something that it's aptly named Serenity. Um, that one is without a doubt, it's my family's current favorite. We've got I have 3 children and a husband, so we have a very busy household, and there's just a lot of activity here. So Serenity is just great. We diffuse it all the time. On Guard is absolutely a staple.
Mhm.
I find because in my work, we have a lot of clients who are international, clients all over the world, and people travel a lot. And the On Guard oil, the On Guard beadlets, though I send the beadlets because we do a lot of corporate work. So for our corporate clients, I make sure we just send the beadlets to them. And I say, put them in your travel bag, put them in your carry-on. And when the guy 3 aisles above, in front of you is popping, just pop them and be like, you know, or put some on your hands and breathe them in, or, when you go through security. Those two, and lavender, of course. Lavender is just so wonderful. But some people, my husband hates lavender. Oh, I hate to say that, but he just
Too early of a smell.
yeah, probably. It's, and he doesn't like it, but the Serenity is a little bit better. That's why I think sometimes the blends are nice, because it's a nicer balance to it.
Here's another idea for him, the sort of the guy version of lavender's Petit Grain.
Oh, I'm going to write that down. Okay.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about oils I love is like if somebody doesn't care for the scent but they want the benefits, there's always another good option.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you asked me for a few favorite, and this will be my last one, but I balance. Balance.
No, that's top for me too.
Okay. My daughter just started middle school, and she just switched from a private Montessori school to public school and middle school, and she's getting up earlier and all these different new things. And that girl, I bathe her in balance. And it's January, and I live in New York, and it's cold and it's gloomy, and I bring in the car, because I drive her to school and the neighbor, I bring a new oil, a citrus one, and we play a game in the car, and I say, okay, what do you think it is? And they don't look, and lemon, lime, grapefruit, red mandarin, kumquat, all of the different citrus blend, all of the different ones. It wakes them up. Yeah. It's fun. Do you know what I mean? And then they're asking about it, and then my daughter will research, well, what is this oil good about? So I'm building an army of adolescent oil lovers.
Well, that's such a good point, right? Like, what are we teaching our kids? And are we teaching them that you have a problem, you run to the pharmacy? Or, what habit are we teaching them? And, instead of relying on chemicals or coffee or other stimulants, let's just let's go back to Mother Nature and let's see what she has to offer. And that's consistent with the rest of your work. We look to food and vitamins and minerals and herbs, and, really Mother Nature has our backs most of the time, and the kids are learning a totally different way.
That is an excellent point. And it's funny because I guess I've been doing that, and my instincts are telling me to go ahead and do that. But until you maybe connected that for me, I was just thinking, this is just what I do, and I'm doing it. But it's a great foundational thing, like you said, to be role modeling and demonstrating and saying, no, because the oils are our pharmacy. And actually, when I was coming to our call today, I'm not kidding, when I looked around my house, I went, wow. We have a lot of oils, and it feels wonderful. And I had mentioned about travel. I do not travel without my oils, and my core breathed lavender, On Guard. I like elation. I just, and sometimes if you're stuck in, the airport or through security or whatever, I have the tiny little one, and I just put it, because you can't have too many liquids and stuff. And the oils just travel with me. I mean, they've been all around the world with me. So
Yeah.
and I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling this year, so they're coming with me too.
Awesome. And for people listening, all these names that you're mentioning, On Guard, Breeze, Serenity, these are all doTERRA products. So can you tell us more about why you picked doTERRA and why you use them?
Well, a friend of mine who introduced them to me is a scientist, and she said, these are the ones that I think I've read the reports, I've looked at the studies and the comparisons, and these are the cleanest. And I think because what we are doing is promoting clean, healthy living, these are really in line with the work that we're doing.
Yeah.
And I trust that, and it matters, very much like I wouldn't tell a client to take a supplement from, Centrum or something. Right. Really that could be detrimental. It's the same thing with oils. And I love that the knowledge is being shared, and you see a lot more oils out there. And that's wonderful. But for me, I really don't want to recommend something that doesn't have the efficacy, and people get results. And I will tell you, I had used some other oils, no offense, but I wasn't getting the results with them. So it just, and that can be with anything, right? If we're using something and we're not getting satisfaction and results, look for something better. But I'm parked here at these because I am getting great results, and
your clients are getting results.
And they really are. They really are getting great results. And I will say too, I know personally, I had a thermography back in the spring, and they said, "Oh, come back. We want you to come back in about 3-6 months because we see a hot spot, and we want you to use some oils and some supplements and everything." And I've been using the frankincense, and then I went back, and then I had the report, and they went, "Oh my goodness, everything looks great." And believe me, I've been doing a lot of different things to support what I wanted, the outcome and what I was expecting, and the oils were a very big piece of that for me. So my frankincense, I know I didn't mention that, but again, that's sort of just because they're surrounding us. They are so a part of our life that for me to go, "Oh, which oils do I use every day?" Frankincense is one.
Yeah, and I like your point about how they're part of the puzzle. Like, we don't say, frankincense cures such and such, but if your body has this innate, beautiful wisdom to keep you healthy and to keep you in balance, so what can you give it that it'll work in partnership with to do its job as best it can? And it can be herbs and oils and food and sleep and joy and mindset. And oils are a piece of that puzzle, but the science is there too to back it up, that it can be a big piece of that puzzle. So like, we're not saying that frankincense is going to cure anything, but you can look at the science for yourself to see what the scientists are saying. And, thousands of years of testimonials later, and, everybody can make their own decision. But I love your approach, and the functional medicine approach is that the power to regain or reclaim or maintain your health lies with you. And you can arm yourself like a warrior with different tools and shields and things, but it's up to you to arm yourself with information and these tools. And really, even if something runs in your family, we're learning more and more about how that does not equal destiny all the time, and that you can influence your genes. And I just recommend all the time that people, if they can, work with a health coach like you. I'm not currently doing any one-on-one coaching because I'm so busy with the group coaching, but for anybody who, even somebody who is a health coach, if you have never experienced a functional health coach, it's this really amazing approach. And you can make sure at the end we'll give them your website so they can look into Rockstar Health Coaching. But it's just a really different approach where the answers lie with the person as a whole being, and the answers don't lie with outside practitioners. They lie with you. And to be empowered and inspired and informed and have someone walking alongside you I just have seen it make every difference, and people are recovering from things that conventional practitioners say they can't recover from. And, you know, you just need some support. You need some coaching. And so that's what Dainna and her company does. And Dainna has a larger business now and employs other health coaches. So she has extensive experience in this area. I want to get off topic just real quick because I know people will ask me a lot of questions about your business and how to be such a successful health coach as you are. Can you touch on your training from the School of Applied Functional Medicine and how it helped to grow your business, and any other tips you have for people who would like to launch themselves into a bigger business like you have?
Absolutely, I can. For me, hands down, the biggest benefit from the School of Applied Functional Medicine was the ability to learn the material and have the confidence to explain it, right? So that applied knowledge, for me to be able to learn it through various modalities, listen, write, transcripts, all the different things that are available. And then for me to be able to say, okay, I have to explain this to a client. And once I can explain it and they understand it, that's true communication, right? Successful communication, message received. And I found that my confidence level soared in a way that people sought me out as a leader in this area, as a leader in this field. And for me, I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. There's nothing particularly unique about the fact that I learned this stuff. Everybody can learn it if you have the desire to do it and the aptitude. But it really, I think, is about having the confidence to say, I am not beholden to somebody's health outcome. I am a partner in the journey. And I will be somebody who will give sound advice, all encompassing, right? Oils, foods, supplements, lifestyle, all these different things. But it's not up to me to fix them. I am there to help them. And just like you beautifully said, Trisha, to be part of it, part of their work that they have to do. And I will tell you, I speak to people every week who want to work with us, and I vet them very carefully, almost to the point my husband sometimes listens to me and goes, wow, you're tough on the phone, and I am, but I purposefully am, because I say, I have 3 children. I don't want to have to be your mother about it. I really only accept clients who are serious about working with us, because you have to be ready to do it. Because if not, then nobody is getting satisfaction out of it. You're not getting results. The coaches and I are going into it and we are getting burned out and we are feeling dejected. And that's not an accurate transaction. It's not a true representation of what can be, because you and I both know what can be. People can reverse things in their body. They absolutely can. And they do, but I can't will it away for you. You have to be the one, and I can be your partner and we can do it together. But that's really the way. So for me, the confidence and I think the ability to be successful has helped me be in touch with a lot of great practitioners. And then I had a lot of people who I just couldn't support myself. So I turned to one coach and said, do you want to come work with me? And then that turned into 2 coaches and 3 coaches and 4 coaches. So now we have a bunch of coaches working for us, and we have a waiting list of people to work with us, and it's great. It's a good thing. Yeah,
it's exciting that you're out there, because so many health coaches feel like this is sort of the wild, wild west in this industry because it's so new. And so to have such good examples of this business works, it's financially successful, it's getting results with clients, like it's running on all cylinders for you guys. And the fact that you exist is, I feel like, a bit of a light or beacon for the rest of us who are coming along behind, because so many people need to know this is a viable career, and the world needs this. There's so many more sick people than there are health coaches by far. And so there's no lack of success to go around for everyone. And
that's a great point. That's a great point, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And be happy for other people's successes. There are plenty of people who need a lot of people to support them.
And the more people have success with health coaches, the more our whole industry will rise up, just like it happened with oils. Oils is only such a big industry now because so many people got results and the word of mouth just spiraled like crazy. The same thing's going to happen with health coaches. So if you guys are listening, you feel like, oh, all these other coaches are having success, that's good for all of us, because you'll start hearing people say, I use a health coach, I use a health coach, I use a health coach. I got better results from my health coach. My health coach has time to listen to me, all of the things. So that when you say, I'm a health coach, people will go, oh, I've heard of that before. My friend uses a health coach, and it's better for all of us.
Can I tell you something that was really interesting for me? A year ago next month, and then 2 years ago, I was invited down to Washington, D.C. to be part of a small group of health coaches who met with members of Congress and their staff to talk about health coaching. And it was very, very interesting. And it was, we were kind of like lobbyists for the day, okay? And the difference between, I was invited to go back last year, and I'm going to go back this year as well. And the difference in 1 year, 12 months between some of the people that we spoke to that first year that went, huh, what's a health coach? I don't know what that is. In 1 year, they went, oh, yes, I know what a health coach is. That, what to me was astounding, because I thought, we're doing this work, we're making inroads, and there was a resolution that passed, and it was symbolic, but the fact that the vernacular, right, is
Right.
there, and people are starting to understand, and people are starting to know, and we are a presence, and we are continuing to be unified and now represented, it matters. It really does. And there are a lot of places who are looking for health coaches, you know, corporations and everything. There's a lot of places. So anybody listening, if you think, oh, what can I do? You can do a lot. Look in your community. Do a group talk. You know, reach out to your local PTA. Ask if you can talk about school lunches or talk about, you know, packing lunches, anything. The need is great.
Yeah, I've heard Tracy Harrison, who's the founder of the School of Applied Functional Medicine, and Dr. X, they both talked about how they got their businesses going is through these free talks and just getting out in the community. And it's not always about sell. It's be of service, and good things come back around.
That's a great point. I love that. I really do. And service to your community, right? We can think global and we can act locally, right? And
yeah.
And that's wonderful, because you're in North Carolina and I'm in New York, and we see each other when we do, but you know, we would not have necessarily met if it weren't for this movement and the things that we do. But it's really good to look around your community. It's good to support people in your neighborhood, and chances are there are people who need your help. So
for sure.
Get out there and help them.
Yeah. And for those who are sort of leading with the oils, I'll just try to wrap this up by saying that you might feel shy about talking about oils with people, but keep in mind that people are suffering. They're not sleeping well. Their stomachs are bothering them. They have pain. They have inflammation. They're having all these issues. And what we're seeing is that conventional solutions are not providing them with the help that they're looking for. So, we're not bothering them by introducing essential oils as part of the puzzle. We are gifting them with this knowledge and with this opportunity to try something that's actually going to work. So let's own it. Let's never be afraid to stand in the truth of all these holistic options, and we're going to make a big difference in the world.
We already are. Amen. Yeah. I agree.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. I know you're very busy. We're going to wrap this up and let you go, but I so appreciate your time. You are wonderful. And let's just tell us your website so that people can look more into what you offer if they want to get in touch with you.
Sure. They can go to rockstarhealthcoaching.com, or they can also go to 5x5 Health. It's the number 5 BY, the number 5 again, HEALTH.com, 5x5 Health. But I am never too busy to come and talk to you. I am blissfully busy because I really am doing all things that I love, but I really am never too busy to talk to you. So thank you for inviting me, and I would be happy to come back anytime.
All right. Thank you.